Hello, dear friends. I don't usually publish much news from Spain, but this one is so obvious and verified, it has been published on several sites and answers many questions about pollution. Opinion piece. Chemtrails in Spain. Verified and published fact. A pretext for social control. Southeast Peninsular suffered from drought. UFOs disabled nuclear warheads. Wall Street tries to bounce back after its worst week ever. Davos orders meat and fuel rationing. Mexico's president releases photo of an elf. Hebrew calendar began on Tuesday 21st February. South Africa descends into chaos over ethnic hatred. Let's start. Planet Today and Newspunch reported that the Spanish government ordered the army to spray chemtrails on its citizens under the cover of a state of emergency that was declared illegal by the Constitutional Court. And it is not the first time they have done so. In 2015, 4 whistleblowers from the State Meteorological Agency told the European Parliament that chemicals were regularly sprayed over the country to alter the weather. This news was published as a verified fact. Areas in southeastern Spain, such as Almeria, Murcia and Valencia, have suffered the most from the drought for months, which has damaged agriculture. According to Baxter Dimitri, chemtrails also led to cold storms and respiratory diseases among the populations due to inhalation of lead dioxide and other toxic compounds sprayed by aircraft. The chemtrail program, which consists of spraying biocides on the population, was authorized by Royal Decree of 16 April 2020. The decree authorizes all units of the Spanish Armed Forces, including emergency military units, to use biological chemicals approved by the Ministry of Health. The Spanish State Meteorological Agency participated in the biocide spraying operation. The whole of Spain was blocked to facilitate the aerial spraying operations in a confinement that was declared illegal and unconstitutional by the Constitutional Court, rendering all fines null and void. The then Minister of Health, Salvador Illa, was given the authority to issue orders to the military for the duration of the health emergency. The order explicitly called for the use of aerial means and aerial disinfection technique to rapidly reach the entire surface through nebulization, thermonebulization and micronebulization techniques. Precedent. 5 years earlier, on 19th May 2015, Ramon Tremosa y Bacels announced in the European Parliament that 4 workers of the State Meteorological Agency had denounced that Spain is being sprayed in its entirety from planes that spread lead dioxide, silver iodide, and diatomaceous earth in the atmosphere. Diatomaceous, I mean. According to the MEP, the operation was intended to prevent rain and allow temperatures to rise. Subsequently, this resulted in a summer atmosphere for tourism and more favorable conditions for agricultural business growing crops. In turn, the resulting aerial spraying for climate geoengineering produces cold drop. The aim, according to the same MEP, would be to conjure up rainfall and allow temperatures to rise, which creates a summer weather environment for tourism and at the same time helps corporations. Bill Gates. Bill Gates, in turn, invests heavily in geoengineering techniques. In 2010, he funded research to develop machines that would spray seawater into clouds with the aim of increasing the ability to reflect sunlight back into space and thereby reduce global temperatures. In 2018, Gates also helped fund experiments for Harvard scientists who proposed spraying the stratosphere with calcium chloride to help slow global warming by blocking the sun. But weather modification through geoengineering could be used as a weapon of control, including control of agriculture. Sulfate aerosols are tiny reflective particles that can reflect more sunlight back into space when sprayed into the stratosphere 12 to 60 miles above Earth's surface. This leads to lower global temperatures as well as lower average precipitation. Writing in The Defender, Robert F. Kennedy, Jr. also warned that incursions into climate control could be a pretext for social control, in his opinion. Reset news. The risk of galactic superwave became real. The Hebrew calendar began on Tuesday, 21st February at sunset. Unity happens when people interact with each other in solidarity. Put on the full armor of God to take your stand against the wiles of the devil. Gnostic cosmology. Stand up to the shadow, or let it rule us through its unconscious and barely human representatives. Katis the C3 is of the opinion that great events are going to take place in the next 3 weeks, but this is only an opinion. A source very close to Donald Trump said that everything will be different after March 2023, because by the end of February, most of the banks could disappear. Another personal opinion. A high-level contact says QFS is operational and has successfully completed test payment distribution. Wall Street tries to bounce back after its worst week of 2023. Thap says, on the official front, all the changes are moving into place, ready to be implemented. Deutsche Bank is implementing blockchain for currency settlement in its operations. The Davos Forum orders governments to start rationing meat and fuel in an acceleration towards its Great Reset agenda. DeSantis signs bill ending Disney's corporate reign. Former U.S. military officials testify that UFOs disabled nuclear warheads. Breaking news. Hungary supports China's plan for peace in Ukraine. China calls for an end to the war. Last week, China proposed peace talks to end an undeclared hybrid war. The Chinese are trying to de-escalate the situation by saying that East and West must choose between mutually assured destruction or mutually assured love, according to Benjamin Fulford. Zelensky dismisses Kiev's commander in Donbass, Eduard Moskalyov. The UN and Turkey demands US guarantees for Russian grain exports. Turkey offers safety to tourists after the earthquake. Europe. Macron announces that France will reduce its military presence in Africa. European Union and UK reach agreement on Northern Ireland. UK classifies literary classics as allegedly extremist material. Burke, Huxley, Orwell and Tolkien were all anti-totalitarian writers. The program called Prevent named George Orwell's 1984 novel, Aldous Huxley Brave New World, John Milton's Paradise Lost, and a host of other classic British literary and film works as signs of extremism. Americas. Brazil believes BRICS offers a comfortable environment for negotiating peace in Ukraine. Brazil allows 2 Iranian warships to enter despite US pressure. Chile begins military deployment on its northern border in the face of the migration crisis. The World Bank grants, the FMI grants Argentina 2 loans for $450 million. Russian women who fly to Argentina to give birth are investigated. Mexico's president tweets a photo of an elf hiding in the trees. Bizarre. Mexico's Maya train will start operations in December 2023. 3 fires break out on the same day at 3 Mexican oil refineries. 3 refineries broke out on Thursday at different facilities in Mexico and the US, operated by Mexico's state oil company Pemex. Coincidence? Demonstrators in Peru blocked the road that connects with Bolivia. Bolivia exploits lithium in only 3 of its 19 salt flats and hopes to increase its reserves. Africa. South Africa collapses into chaos because of ethnic hatred, according to Mike Adams. According to Hal Turner, South Africa has collapsed. City Power has an average response time of 2 or 3 days for grid repairs. They don't have the manpower, the supplies or the funds, and they have already used up this year's budget. Across the country, they are seeing an increase in coordinated attacks on water, power and communications infrastructures, as mobs attack equipment and steel is to sell the copper and aluminium as scrap to junkyards. And that's all for today. Thanks a lot, dear friends.